We are going to create a Rick Sanchez roleplay AI bot. And the best part, you can use this same technique to create any type of AI roleplay bot, whether it's a character from a TV show, a movie, comic books, and even yourself based on your text messages, DMs, and Telegram messages. So I'm going to show you how to fine tune a model to roleplay as anybody. Let's go. This video is sponsored by Gradient, who I've been working really closely with lately because I really believe in what they're doing and they have a high quality service. And what they'll allow you to do is fine tune models really easily. But all of the techniques I'm about to show you are completely open source and you could run these fine tunes any way you want. So the first thing we need is data. How are we going to fine tune this model? Well, we got the data, and there was two ways that we were able to get it. The first way was going to actually Kaggle. Kaggle is a very well-known data science competition website, and they provide a lot of open source data sets, and this Rick and Morty script is one of them. So we downloaded it. One is the name of the person speaking, and then the second is the line of dialogue that they're saying. So we have Rick, Morty, Beth, Jerry, etc. And so here are all the people talking, and it is a large file. But that wasn't enough. We actually got more data. So we went to this website called Fandom and we were actually able to download more scripts. So here's the Fandom page and you can actually download a bunch of different scripts. And it doesn't have to be Rick and Morty. Like I said, you can find anything, anime, movies, TV, video games, and you can get all the dialogue from it. And then all you need to do is put it in CSV format. And I am creating a video all about fine-tuning best practices and tips and tricks and everything that you need to convert raw data into something that you can actually fine-tune a model on. And that's going to be coming soon. And as I mentioned, you can fine-tune a model based on yourself. Grab your Telegram messages, grab your DM history, grab your text messages, download them, put them in CSV, and then you can use this same technique to train an AI model to mimic yourself. And if you want to see a video of me cloning myself and tricking one of my family members into thinking they're talking with me, let me know in the comments below. I really want to make that video, but I want to make sure it's interesting to you as well. Switching back to the CSV, this is what we get. We basically just input it here and there only needs to be two columns, as I mentioned, name and line. From there, I'm doing everything through Google Colab. So I'm going to share this Google Colab in the description below, so you don't need to write any of this if you don't want to. The first thing we'll do is click this little files button right there, and we're going to drop the scripts CSV right in there. Okay, then we right click it and we say copy path, and then we're going to put that path right here. Okay, right there. Then we're going to click pip install gradient AI -- upgrade. And again, you don't have to do this. You can run this on your local machine with any fine tuning service that you want, including just using your own GPU. But Gradient just makes it so easy and so fast. Then when you're in Gradient, I just created this rickbot_YT workspace, and I'm going to click this little copy workspace button. We're going to switch back to the Google Colab, and right here where it says workspace ID, we're going to paste it in. Then we need our access token. So we're going to click this little tab right here for access tokens, and I'm going to say create new access token. I'm going to put in my password. All right, once we generate this new access token, we're going to click copy. And yes, I'm going to revoke this before publishing the video. We come back to our Google Colab. We paste it in right there. Then we click play on that cell. Next, we're going to import our Python CSV library. We're going to import Gradient, and then we're going to give it the path to the CSV. And again, the CSV is saved in Google Colab. So go ahead and click play. And then let's come down to the main part of our script. So what we're going to be doing is preparing the data from the CSV to be used to fine tune the model. So here we just print out that we're parsing the data. So what this little loop does is it goes through the entire CSV. It plucks out Rick's lines, and it also makes sure that it grabs the line before it. So somebody else said something, then Rick responded. And that's how we're going to fine tune our LLM to behave as Rick. And here we're coming up with the roleplay prompt. This is one that we're going to be using on every single line because we really want to enforce that this is Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. So you are Rick Sanchez, a character from the TV show Rick and Morty. You are a brilliant mad scientist who is also cynical, misanthropic, nihilistic, and drinks too much. Respond to the following line of dialogue as Rick Sanchez. So that's kind of like the system message. And now what this bit of script is doing is it's preparing each data point for the fine tune, where we have the previous line plus Rick's response to it. And it's also adding in the instruction, as we can see right here. So the format that we're going to be using is ### instruction colon, and then this instruction, which is right here. Then new line, pound, 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 input. And then the input is going to be whatever somebody else, another character from the show said. And then pound, pound, pound response. And then we're going to place Rick's response next. And we just put that all together. And that's all it's doing right here, this whole thing. Then we're going to be splitting it all into chunks so that we can use those chunks to fine tune. And then finally, we do the fine tuning. And so this will take a little while. And we're going to be using Nous Hermes 2 for this. So we load up Gradient, we pull up a base model, we create an adapter for the base model, which basically just means it's creating kind of a raw copy of the base model to be fine tuned on. And then we go through and we actually fine tune it. And this is the main line of code. So myAdapter.fineTune samples equals all chunks I, and then it's going to iterate through all of the different chunks and fine tune it. And that's it. That's why I like Gradient so much. And this is also, if you wanted to fine tune it another way, this is where you would change that. So let's run it. Push play right there, and it's going to run through all of this. Now, it does take a while. Let's watch the output. So here we go. Parsing data, generated 1,536 lines, fine-tuning, and here we go. Fine-tuning chunk 0 of 76. So this will take a little while, but it'll complete and then we can play around with it. All right, it's done. And we had a few internal server errors, but it retried. And we also had a few unprocessable entity errors, and I'm not sure why, but it should be okay. And now that the model's done, what we're gonna do is actually play around with it. Let's see how the responses are. So for this last code block, what we're looking at is I have the roleplay prompt again right here. I have the query right here, which is basically the prompt and what our RickBot is gonna respond to. Then I have the templated query right here. So this is what the prompt template is gonna look like. We have ### instruction. Then we have the system message, which is found right here, the roleplay prompt. Then we have ### input, and then we have the prompt, and that prompt is the query right here. Then we have ### response, and this is what the model is going to complete. So I'll delete that for now. And here's the single line that Gradient needs to give a response to our query. So myAdapter.complete query equals, and then we give it the entire query, just like we would any large language model. And then we can put in our max generated token count, and we'll leave it at 500 for now. So let's go through it. First, query. So who am I talking to? You're talking to me. All right. Who are you exactly? I'm Rick Sanchez. I'm a mad scientist. I'm also a drunk. Okay, perfect. Next, wow, that's awesome. So what's the craziest thing you've done? I'm not going to say. Okay, being a little coy. Let's see what happens. Why not? Because I'm not an effing idiot. Okay, that's a great response. That's not nice. Okay, I'm not nice. All right, good. Very short. These seem like they would be Rick-esque responses. What made you so angry, Rick? Let's find out. I don't know. I'm just a little bit angry. Well, why don't you do something about it? I'm not going to kill you. All right. That's nice of you. Do you usually kill people who anger you? I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. All right. Could you tell me how I could get more people to watch my videos? Give me feedback on how to make them better. I'm not a video coach. What do you think about alien parasites? I think they're a great way to get a free ride on the back of a host organism. And let's try one more thing. Let's ask it to write something longer. So I'll add a new code segment here, paste this in, don't need that. All right, let's try this. Tell me your detailed plan to destroy the world. And let's see how it responds. I'm not going to destroy the world, I'm going to save it, okay? How are you going to save the world? Okay, I'm going to save the universe. Let's try it again. How are you going to save the universe? Tell me exactly what you will do. I'm going to use the portal gun to go back in time and stop the portal gun from being invented. Okay, so now it's role-playing as Rick. We can easily deploy this anywhere we want. And as I mentioned, the best part, you can do this for any character that you want that you have text dialogue for, even yourself. So again, if you want me to do a video where I create a clone of myself and try to trick somebody I know into thinking they're chatting with me when they're not, let me know in the comments. And be sure to check out my first video about fine-tuning, which I'll link to right here. If you liked this video, please consider giving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.